According to our research-based statistics, many companies that are registered daily in South Africa by CIPC ends up deregistered. The reason behind this is because many business owners have a tendency of ignoring this one thing, which is compulsory for all businesses. Market Yourself Techniques has a step-by-step guide to help you, even before you start your business. Visit our website now and contact us for more info.
But is the Minister aware of the reported case, which myself I did, to the Public Protector regarding the provincial government in the Free State, which tried to change the name of the Naisville and Gawie de Beer Game Reserve without public participation? If so, what action steps will the Minister take to stop officials using name changes for political motivated actions rather than protecting South African heritage?
Thank you very much, Honourable Minister. Your response?
You know, we must be honest. Name changes are political. You know, you cannot expect black people that lived through the worst times of apartheid to live in a street called Verwoerd. It is a reminding, to wake up every morning and to be reminded of the injustice and the pain that you suffered. We must be fair.
Greetings everyone, I hope you're fine. I hope you are doing well. Thank you for subscribing, thank you for liking, thank you for everything. I would like to take this opportunity to agree with Gayton Mckenzie, the Minister of Sports in South Africa, for his boldness to even mention Verwoerd, that we cannot always be reminded about the injustices of the past, because now you have to walk through the street that is named after people who did bad things or terrible things on Africans, or you have to walk around the area that is named after people who did terrible things upon Africans. In other words, it should not be like that. So I would like to take this moment to talk about Verwoerd for a second. In other words, Verwoerd is one of the participants or the contributors or the architects of the system, which is famously known as the apartheid system. You have to understand that the apartheid system didn't only torture African people physically, but it also tortured them psychologically. That is why you can tell there's no confidence. You can tell that these people sometimes don't believe in themselves. You can tell that they always want to rely upon somebody. They can invent something. They don't believe that they can do something. Why? Because of psychological torture. In other words, apartheid system contributed a lot when it comes to psychological torture. So now, here 1994 comes. So what you need to do, you need to sabotage, or you need to destroy the entire package that comes with the system, or that comes with the apartheid system. But right now, as we speak, we can even say South Africa is majority black. South Africa is situated in Africa. But here is the thing. Most of the cities, towns, stadiums, museums, rivers, and etc. are named after people who didn't do anything for Africans. Is this the heritage that we need to protect? Because when it comes to people who contributed upon African history, we have to focus on those who fought for Africans or who did good things to the Africans. So it doesn't mean in the name of history we have to protect everybody. There are people like H.F. Verwoerd and many others who should only be in museums, who should only be in the books of history. This is where they belong. This is where they should be found. But I still believe that 1994 is a brown envelope.
Re ke dumedise mohlomphehi. Name change e tlameha etsahale. And le nna ke a dumela e tlameha etsahale through the public consultation. And ba kgatlhanong le hore re change ditoropana tsa rona hangata ha ba batle nnete re bue nnete mo re tswang re ke ke be ra ba hantle mane Freestata be re na le toropo e bitswa Harris Smith tate Harris Smith a la rea toropo ya Harris Smith ka mosadi wa hae. The really is okay if you go to Lady Smith today motho la rea toropo ya Lady Smith ka mosadi wa hae kapa ka girlfriend ya hae, then you must still say it's okay. Public participation e etsahale mara cost effective o tlameha re ska ra etsa in a manner ya hore be re sebedisa tjhelete unreasonable re sa i-checka status tsa rona sa budget ya rona, because ha re etsa name change ya Harris Smith kapa ya Lady Smith, the municipality addresses le bona they will have to incur the cost because ba tlo change the address. But bana ba tshwana le mogotsi wa ka ka pela ka mo ba sa ratle taba ya name changing like ntho ba yentseng Brandford re ke ke be ra thola be re ska etsahala jwale ka mane poldru re ke ke ba ra dumela hore mane Freestata mo o tswang heno re dule ka re toropo tsa batho ba re hlekefeditseng ba sa show any remorse. So on that one it tlameha etsahala, yes, public participation, we must follow everything to the latter, public consultation, and re tla support on that one. Ha etsahale ra batla a re tlo dula le Harris Smith any longer.
Tseba motho mo lifeng mo lifeng wa tseba ba re go phila ke o mamela batho ba bua le wena wa ithuta. Ne ke sa tsebe Harris Smith in le girlfriend or slave queen le Lady Smith ne ke sa tsebe, so wa tla ke di leboe member ke tla o leboa fighter for umpe history yo o bua nnete ke dumela le wena tshwantse re change mabitso mara tshwantse re etse ka molao e re dumetseng ka yone, re ska batla nka di shortcut ha ba ithutse bo Lady Smith re kinye mabitso a ka tlang for re thabe kaofela because ka bona mabitso a di o etsa varam di etsa o hlale so ke batla re etse nna ke na to mamela motho o tlo mplela free ke ska etsa name change and hardly ka mabaka eo yona e no luka le nna ha e sebetse le nna tshwantse re etse di name change and re tame ka molao ke re molao iteng because if I do mabitso a eme le o sa nna Mckenzie ke tla tlisa slave queen ya ka ke re paudu ele ke re ka slave queen ba ke ta mohlala fela check you protect me.
Gayton Mckenzie in agreement with the economic freedom fighter. But here is the thing. I just want to go back to the issue of South Africa being majority black. And South Africa is also situated in Africa. And if you can look at the majority of the places in South Africa, cities, towns, museums, rivers, and etc., you can tell that they are named after people who didn't do anything for Africans at all. Even the streets. For an example, if you go to many places in South Africa, it can be a city or a suburb or a town, there will always be a street which is called Piet Retief Street. So this street, which is called Piet Retief, is found in many places across South Africa. But what has he done? What has he done for Africans? What has he done for the majority of people of South Africa? In other words, we have to remember that South Africa has a history. And every time we go through this history of South Africa, people become uncomfortable. Why? Because the history of South Africa is very painful. It's very painful. So that is why it cannot be a good thing to be reminded all the time about these people who contributed a lot, when it comes to the oppression of Africans. So that is why we have the likes of Peter Marisbeck, Lady Smith, Harry Smith, Johannesburg, Heidelberg, Petersburg, and so forth and so forth. And many people are comfortable. Many people are like, everything is okay. And we have many people who can even go all out, Africans to be exact, to defend these places, to defend the names of these areas. So in other words, if you are a government and you are taking over from a government that has oppressed people for a long time, then it means you have to make changes. You have to make not just changes, but huge changes to show that indeed you are deliberately deleting everything that came with the system, which is the apartheid system. So now people are talking about heritage, people are talking about history. But what kind of heritage are we protecting? How did these people contribute towards our history? Because it doesn't mean just because this person is appearing on our history, we have to honor them anyhow. It should not be like that. Why? Because most of these people are in our history, but we cannot do anything to honor them based on their contribution, because we have to look into their contribution. What did they do? What did they do? In other words, people should just wake up. But I know that there are people who will always go all out and defend these places. And sometimes you find yourself in a situation whereby there's absolutely nothing you can do.